Hey everybody, it is your boy. It is the Birdman. And welcome to the Birdman Show. Hey, it's been a minute since we got on here. Want to get on here. Just a few things I want to talk about. It's nothing major. Just a few things. Um, but everybody knows. For those who don't know, I'm your host, Birdman, but I'm also retired military. Now there's some things that are going on that just I don't know. All I know is the world's crazy. I don't know why it's continued to go that way. I know we have a lot of issues just here in the United States, but man, now abroad, that things is just getting crazy. And everybody knows what I'm talking about. Russia, Russia and Ukraine. Look, Russia's been Russia for decades. I don't see much chance of them changing anytime soon. So it is what it is. Now, before I move any further, understand these are just my thoughts, my opinions. Okay, that's solely what this is. My thoughts, my opinions. Okay, nothing else. I'm not. I don't have any inside information. I'm not getting fed anything. It's just outside looking in. And I say that safe for now, being a civilian, even though I'm retired military, I'm a civilian now. Like I said, that safely outside looking in. Things are crazy. Um, and now there's reports coming out, especially with the Washington Post, reporting now that President, Vladimir Putin is calling for normalization of relations with other states. Um, and he's saying there's no need to sanction Russia, even though they're having acts of aggression towards Ukraine. And man, I don't know. All I know is this it's I worry about some things, but then other things I don't worry about. I mean, because I look at it this way: Ukraine, Ukraine is they're fighting off Russia. And in a lot of cases they're winning quite a bit. If you look at it, in the first few attacks or how long it's been going on, Russia lost roughly what about 4,000 troops. They lost for about 4,000 troops. When we started with the war on terrorism, in Iraq and Afghanistan, we lost roughly what 1,000. In I mean, not even close to 4,000 in the time span that Russia has lost all their troops. And I get people ask me, they'll say, "Hey, you're military. Uh, um, um, how do you feel? What do you think? It would be like if Russia or somebody decided to invade the United States?" And I'll be honest with you, in most cases, I don't really worry about that. The reason why I say that is because look at what's going on in the Ukraine. Okay, you got civilians that are helping out. They're in there. They're doing their fight, and they're doing the best they can to fight off this invasion. I mean, it's basically all you call it, invasion, and they're doing that. Now think about America. Almost almost everybody's got a gun in this country. Everybody's always packing in this country. You know what I'm saying? So you everywhere you return, you basically run into somebody that's packing some type of heat. And like they've said on some of the news reports I've seen, I've watched, I've been reading about, where Russia's having problems is when they get into these urban settings and trying to take over these different towns, they're having a tough time because number one, the people know the terrain. They know what's there. They know the area. Coming in from another country, you don't know what's going on here. You don't know who's got what, who's doing what. Where you have your tactical bandages at. You don't know none of that stuff. And so therefore it's much easier to defend that way. Now, I'll be honest with you. The one thing I do worry about, be honest, the one thing I do worry about when it comes to this country, America, is attack from within. That's what I worry about the most. I worry about that the most. Why? Because our borders have always been open. We've allowed so many different people from so many different nationalities to come into this country, and who's to say that they're not just giving us some type of sob story just so they can get in the country, embed themselves, and now you have another 9/11 on a grander scale. That's what I worry about. That's what I worry about, because all reports came in that with what happened with 9/11, a lot of it was simply because these people have been living here for years. They didn't just come over here and plan this attack within 2 weeks. They had been planning that attack for years. They were able to get into the flight programs, learn how to fly planes. Now, my red flag would have instantly gone up when I'm finding out these people learn how to fly planes, but they're not finishing the course and getting to the most important part of how to land a plane. If I got somebody, is wanting to take a flight school class or whatever, but yet still you're not learning how to land a plane, that means you either think you're gonna fly into space, or you trying to crash that joker. You trying to crash that joker, but hey, hold up now. Something got to click. Something got to click. You know what I'm saying? Something got to give. Something got to click. Before going a little further, yeah, if you're watching this video, especially if you're watching it live, definitely hit me up. You leave a comment. If there's something you want me to talk about, if you want to jump in, chime in on a subject, leave a comment, and we'll talk about it. Like I said, these are my thoughts, my thoughts, my rationality of things. Just thinking about stuff. Just want to talk about something. These are just things I'm looking at. But like I said, I worry about that when it comes to any attack on America. It's because the simple fact is we've left ourselves open as far as our borders and just letting anybody come in. America tries to live up to that. America's a land of opportunity. Anybody can come in and make something themselves. This is very true. If you do it right, if you educate yourself right, if you push yourself, yeah, you can. Anybody can. But the problem with that is anybody can. And understand what I'm saying when I say anybody can. It means anybody can. Anybody can come in and say, "Oh, I'm just getting away from my country. I'm getting away from my government because they've held people hostage. They've taken our land. This and that." Well, guess what? America did that too. America did that. Our early beginnings took land from the Indians. You know what I'm saying? We took land, from everybody. America went to Africa, grabbed slaves, brought them over here. Did the same thing in China. Same brings Chinese people over here to work on the railroads and other stuff like that. No country's perfect. Understand this. This is where, I have an issue with. People talk about how America is so great, this and that. In a lot of ways it is. A lot of ways it is. In a lot of ways it's not. Yeah. Think about this. America is the only country that classifies its citizens by race. Think about that. The only country. Go to Germany. If I'm a black man, I'm from Germany. Okay? I'm not a black German. Okay? There's not Mexican Germans. If you're there, you're a German. You know what I'm saying? If you go to Africa, there's not white Africans, not black Africans. If you're from that country, you're African. America is the only country that classifies its citizens by race. That's it. That we're the only ones that do that. I mean, think about how much of a problem that is. Uh, there's no unification. America has never been truly unified. Why? Because we have so many divisions. When it comes to race, when it comes to classifications of upper, middle, and lower class. Why do we have upper, middle, and lower class? That's what I'm saying, is that there's so many different things, so many different aspects, that are going on. I see there are people join in. Like I said, if you have a comment, please leave a comment. If you know what I'm saying, if there's something you want to touch on, you want to talk about, let me know. But kind of backtracking on what we're talking about, kind of start talking about the whole thing that's going on in Russia. and with Russia and Ukraine, and stuff like that, and how what would it be like if someone did decide that they want to try to invade America, yeah, which I don't think that would ever happen. Like I said, I honestly truly believe it'd be more of an attack from within than it would be someone actually getting on a boat or hopping in a plane and trying to actually really, really invade the United States. I just don't foresee that happening. Not to say it's not. I'm not saying it wouldn't or that's not possible. Anything's possible. But like I said, I just don't see it happening. But America classifies their citizens by race. Why is that? Anybody? I mean, why do you think something like that would be? Because the thing is, the way I look at it, you classify somebody by a race or whatever it is, whatever classification you want to give them. It's just a way for you to in a lot of aspects keep someone in a certain area. Okay, it's no different than how it was when it was with segregation. Having black schools and white schools. All right, black schools and white schools. You keep them in a certain category, certain classification. Keep them separate. We are the only country that does that. Like I said, only country. Go anywhere else. I mean, and I've been to Germany. I've been to Ireland. I've been places like that. Especially with the experiences I've had with the military, and it's funny to me. I remember talking to this um, a war veteran over in Ireland. And I remember talking to him about their different things they went through in Ireland and stuff like that. And I remember asking him about that. I was like, so what's the classifications? What do you call a black person over in Ireland? And he's like, call them Irish. It's like, what do you call them over there? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I would call them Irish. You know what I'm saying? But it's funny to me how some of that stuff is. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I mean, you would like to think that in 2022 we wouldn't have some a lot of these same issues. Of course, we also said that last year. Heck, we even said that back in 2016. It's 2016. It's 2015. Why are we still having these race issues? Because nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. We either we have the conversations or we don't. All right, that's just point blank. We either have the conversations or we don't. Now, whether we have the conversations or not, it's still up to that individual person to change what's going on in the world, what's going on in society. It's still that person's that it's their decision to make. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it in this sense, you have a child who's abused majority of their life by their mother or their father, or an aunt, uncle, or a friend of the family, whatever. They're abused majority of their life growing up. Okay, what happens? What happens with that? The abuser becomes, what I'm saying, the abused becomes the abuser in most cases, right? And then that cycle continues. Now they have children. They're doing the same thing to their children. You know what I'm saying? What happens is the only way that cycle is ever broken is if somewhere down the line, whether it's the child themselves or whether it's them after they've had children or it's a grandchild, whatever, somewhere along the line, someone breaks that cycle. Someone has to break it. Someone has to say something's got to change. If I was a child that was being abused, and I grow up and it's like, do I want to keep continue the same thing with my children, or do I want to break that cycle? Do I want to be the same abusive? I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if it was that situation, and I'm talking about me, do I want to be the same abusive father that I had, or do I want to be the loving, caring father that I never had? You know what I'm saying, or vice versa? No one really knows what really sets a lot of stuff off as far as that stuff is concerned. There's been many reports of people being abusive relationships and this and that, and they've never had any type of abuse whatsoever towards them. Just something that flipped inside them. So I don't know. Not getting into the psychological aspects of those things because I'm not a psychologist and I don't tend to be. Don't try to be. I just speak what's on my mind and it's what's in my heart. So let's move on a little bit. So like I said, I would love to hear anybody's thoughts on anything that's going on with the whole thing with Russia and Ukraine, um, especially with how do you feel? What do you think could be some of the issues that we may see here in the United States? Because a lot of people have been talking about the Americans that are over in Russia, and I don't remember too many reports about anybody talking about the Russians that are here in America. Somebody there was an interview I believe I saw with Joe Biden, President Biden, and somebody that asked him, hey, what are your plans, for the Americans that are over in Russia? If they're if they become under attack, this and that, and President Biden, responded with like, hey, we don't have a plan to go get them if something happens. He said, I'm telling them right now. And he said, I've been telling them for the last 3 or 4 weeks, however long it was at that point in time. So I've been telling them, get out of Russia. Get out. There's no reason for you to be there right now. Get out. You understand what the situation is? Get out of Russia. So therefore, there's not a situation created like that. You get out of there. You stop any situation like that from happening. But somebody was like, oh, I can't believe he would say this, and that. Like, well, you gotta understand something. He's also looking at it from the same perspective as the Ukrainians are looking from Russia trying to get into Ukraine. Yeah, you're gonna send our forces over there, and you gotta understand Russia. Russia's not some little podunk town here in the United States. They're not. It's not a small. It's not a small area you'd have to try to send people into. So first you got to get in there, okay? And once you get in there, then you got to try to sit there and try to locate these people. So I mean, there's a lot of moving pieces, and I can say that. I can say that safely. Say that on that aspect. I talk from experience when it comes to being in the military. There's a lot of moving pieces that have to be put in place and come together in order for you to make a mission happen. And that's like I said. I'm all for living abroad. I'm all for coming up. Experiencing different things. I'm all for that. But you also got to remember, you ain't here. You ain't in the States. You ain't in America. You gotta live by those rules. You gotta live by what's going on over there. Which means if something pops off, and now that country ends up having beef with American, you as an American might want to get yourself out up from around there and get yourself closer to America, if not back into America. Because once that stuff pops off, you don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, for those who I don't know about Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner is a WNBA superstar, and right now, unless I've seen and I haven't seen anything else, but right now, as far as I know, she's still in jail. She got stopped for having liquid. I think they said a liquid substance like marijuana, a liquid marijuana, some stuff like that. Like all this stuff going on. Number one, like I know she's not. I know she's not oblivious to all the stuff that's going on. In the news with Russia and everything. She's going over to Russia, flying out from New York, going over to Russia, and she gonna be dumb enough to have liquid marijuana, I don't care, any type of illegal substance. And you gonna try to go? First of all, I'm not going to Russia right now. So I don't care what's going on. Now I believe that Brittany's. I think she'd been playing for one of the pro teams over there. So it might be one of those things. She's like, oh well, I'm playing for the Russian team. It shouldn't be an issue. This is that, but you gotta understand something. If that's the case, man, them fools looking for anything. They looking for anything to get you. And then you just gave it to him? Come on. Now you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know is Russia gonna try to use her as some type of pawn? Some type of bargaining chip for America? I mean, I don't know how much clout she actually really has for that to happen, but you know what I'm saying? And it's not because, it's just because she's not like, you know, I don't know how to put it, man. I just don't know how much clout she would actually have in order for somebody to say, "Hey, we're gonna use Brittany Garner, WNBA, superstar, as some type of pawn or bargaining chip, or whatever the case may be." You know what I'm saying, in this situation? I don't know. Don't know. I really don't. I mean, it is what it is. I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping it was just, something that was a misunderstanding. I'm hoping it's something that can be taken care of, and that she'll be okay. And prayers to her and her family. Going through this. Anybody else having to deal with it. I'm hoping that this whole situation just just is taken care of, and she can get out of that situation back home or wherever she's supposed to be going and all that stuff. I don't wish that none of that stuff upon my worst enemy. I just want to make sure everybody's safe, especially in this time. Um, so I'm gonna pose a question right now. If the United States was to get into a conflict with Russia, what do you think the turnout would be? I mean, do you think this would be like the movies? You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, we get into this skirmish or whatever it is you want to call it, the conflict. You know what I'm saying? You think it's gonna be like in the old days with the Cold War and all that stuff? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, people gotta recognize something. Russia's pretty darn good at the whole espionage game. They're pretty darn good at it. They have been for a while, and they never stopped. They never gave up the game. They've been going hardcore with it. I think they might have been thinking they were still in the Cold War or something. I don't know what's going on. Then you got Vladimir Putin riding around horseback, no shirt on and everything, what I'm saying? Thinking that he posing for GQ or something. I don't know what's going on with that dude. But I mean he looking I mean honestly, he looking kind of gangster. You know what I'm saying? I'd be kind of worried about trying to roll up on somebody like that, what I'm saying? Just rolling around like that he really don't care. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, what do y'all think? What do y'all think could happen with this? Like really, what do you think could really happen with this? I mean, I'm curious about it. As far as all this stuff that's going on with everything. I'm really intrigued to find out. What people might think about that. Um. So I mean, like I said, definitely drop a comment. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you think could possibly be happening with all this stuff. Um, I like I said, it's to me, it's crazy. All this stuff is just crazy to me. Just looking at it, from outside, like I said, outside, like I said earlier, outside, from the outside looking in, a lot of it's just crazy to me. So I don't know. Um, what else can we talk about here? Let's see what else can we talk about here. So I mean, we had the Super Bowl and everything that happened, and the halftime performance and everything. And I still got people talking about it. I still, I had a homeboy hit me up about it. It was like, yo, man, what you think about the halftime? I'm like, yo, fam, that's like almost 3 weeks ago, man. What's I mean, what you gonna say? It was cool. I loved it. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. You get a lot of these people sitting there talking about, oh man, it wasn't even anything. I didn't even listen to these people, but just the younger generation, they don't understand the significance of it. I thought it was really cool. I was pleasantly surprised to see 50 Cent, do his thing, coming in, upside down, in the club. Thought that was pretty cool, man. I thought it was all really cool. But it like I said, it brought me back to a time, and I said this before on another show I do, but it brought me back to a time when I can remember everything in my body working. I wake up with no pain, shoulders and back, and no headaches, none of that stuff. It brought to a time where I felt young, you know. Now I did not try to get up, try to do all the other stuff they was doing. I used to do when I was 9, try to do all that, but mentally, I brought me back to that time. So it was cool. It was great. So I really highly enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Um, so I'm hoping now. I mean, but now the bar's been set. Hey, Cali set the bar. You know, now it's like okay, what happens in the next Super Bowl? You know, are you gonna hit the artists from that city? You know, the artists, and if they do, y'all better bring it because Dre was not playing around. Dre, and it's been reported. Dre looked at it and said, "Hey, I want to make this epic. You know, what I'm saying I want this to be talked about for years to come. You know, so Dre was like, "Yo, fam, we gonna do it," and they did it. You know what I'm saying? Dre, M, 50, Mary J, Snoop, D.O. Double Dizzle, uh, Big Sean. I mean, they brought it. I mean, it was live. I like it. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm excited to see what happens moving forward with everything as far as that's concerned. Um, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Um, yes, okay. So here's what we're gonna do. Like I said, I just want to get on here real quick. You know what I'm saying, and send a shout out. Make sure everybody still remembers the face, remembers what I still look like. But we'll be coming back. I'll be coming back probably next week with another show. We got about 2 or 3 guests lined up. We're gonna really get into some things, talk about some stuff. We got some all off the wall topics, as well as just some other things. But in the meantime, like I always said, if you ever have anything, if there's something that you want to talk to me about, or want me to talk about this and that, as you see the ticker going across, those are all my social medias. You can hit me up on. You can hit me up on. You can watch any of the shows on YouTube. I live stream to YouTube, live stream to Twitter, live stream to Facebook as well. So all these are being live streamed as we speak to all 3 of those platforms. You can also catch me up on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. I'm on Anchor, Spotify for the Birdman Show. You can definitely catch it on any one of those platforms, as well as now I crossed over to the dark side. I'm now doing TikTok on TikTok videos and this and that. So you definitely hit me up on that. At Birdman Show. So yeah, trying to do some things. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to the next show because the next show I'll be having a special guest, real close friend of mine, um, Zachary Montgomery. He'll be talking about his book that he wrote, The Shelter. He'll be talking about that, and giving us a little bit of sneak preview to the second book in that series. So I'm excited about that. I can't wait for it. If you have not checked out The Shelter, you can go on Amazon. It's on Amazon, and look that up, and get the book. It's a great read. I'm telling you, it's a great read. I'm telling you, I love it. I love it to death. So definitely go check that out. Check my man out, and get the book. Okay. So yeah, like I said, everybody, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. I appreciate y'all doing the thing with me. This has been the Birdman Show. Like I said, just want to get on here real quick, say what's up, show mad love. You know what I'm saying? So y'all stay tuned for new episodes, more content, and I'll be on here a heck of a lot more frequently now. So until the next time, you know what I'm saying? Learn to take those wings, spread them out, and fly with your boy, the Birdman. That's right. And I'm out.